This is Alexis. Today I'm going to be talking about absolute value equations for my final project. I made a video and I'm having a lot of technical difficulties with Premiere, so can't edit it, scrapped it, made a PowerPoint. All the content is here just the same, but I think if it's ugly, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at PowerPoint, but that's okay. So, like I said, we're going to be talking about the absolute value equations today. I wanted to start by just reviewing what an absolute value is, what we're talking about when we say that. Basically, absolute value refers to the distance of a particular number from zero. So I used 5 as an example. Absolute value of 5 is just going to be 5, because on the number line you can see that 5 is 5 spots away from 0, obviously. And the same is true for negative 5. Even though there's a negative sign there, it's still 5 spots away from 0. So absolute value of negative 5 is still going to be 5. The absolute value of a number x is generally represented in an equation as the absolute value of x equals a, which implies that x equals positive a and negative a, or plus or minus. You're going to have to solve for both. So that's what we're going to do in these 3 sample problems right now. So starting off with example 1, it's pretty easy. I just got an email. I don't know if you heard that. X minus 2, or the absolute value of x minus 2 equals 4. You're just going to have to solve for positive 4 and for negative 4. So starting off with positive 4, x minus 2 equals 4. You're going to add 2 to both sides, and it's going to be x equals 6. Pretty easy. Same thing, x minus 2 equals negative 4. You're going to add 2 to both sides. X is going to equal a negative 2 because negative 2 plus 2 is negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. You get it. So the possible answers for this are going to be 6 or negative 2. Example 2 is a little bit harder, not really, but now we have a variable we have a number in front of the variable, so it's going to be the absolute value of negative 2x plus 7 equals 1. We're going to need to solve this for a negative 1 and a positive 1. So yeah, you're going to subtract 7 from both sides, which is going to leave you with negative 2x on the left, and then 1 minus a negative 7 is going to be negative 6. You're going to you're going to divide both sides by negative 2, so that's going to leave you with x, and then negative 6 divided by negative 2 is going to leave you with a positive 3 for this one. Same thing, but this time it's going to be negative 2x plus 7 equals a negative 1. Again, you're going to subtract 7 on both sides. This time you're going to get negative 2x equals negative 8 because negative 1 minus 7 is negative 8. You are going to divide both sides again by negative 2. And negative 8 negative 8 divided by negative 2 is going to leave you with a positive 4. So the possible answers for this one are going to be 3 or 4. Both are going to be positive. And then example 3 is going to be harder, kind of, I think, for me, at least. It's going to be the absolute value of x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 7. I could have just said 7. I don't know why I put the positive sign. But we're going to have to do it for the positive, and we're going to have to do it for the negative as well, just like we've been doing. So starting off with the positive 7, again, it's going to be x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals 7. You're going to go ahead and add 7 to both sides, which is going to leave you with 0 on the right. It's going to give you x squared minus 4x minus 12, because negative 5 minus 7 is negative 12, equals 0. And then you're going to have to factor that out, so you're going to be left with x minus 6 and x plus 2 equals 0. And you're going to set those both equal to 0 on their own and solve. So x minus 6 equals 0 is going to be, you're going to add a 6 to both sides, which is going to leave you with x equals 6. Same thing, x plus 2 equals 0 is going to leave you with a negative 2 because you're going to subtract 2 from both sides. And then you're going to do the same thing for a negative 7. So x squared minus 4x minus 5 equals negative 7. You're going to subtract 7 on both sides. So it's going to give you x squared minus 4x plus 2 equals 0. And there are no factors of 2 that sum to negative 4, so we can't solve this, or we can't factor this. So to solve, you're going to have to plug this into the quadratic formula. This is where the technical issues really started getting to me, because PowerPoint would not let me plug in the square signs and the plus and minus and everything else. And I got really frustrated, so I solved this by hand, and I've attached a picture. I'm sorry it is ugly. If you cannot read this or you have any further questions, I would be happy to explain or send you my notes. Hopefully you can read it though. So you're going to plug in 2 and -4 into the quadratic formula. Um, and you are going to be left with 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 when all of this is done. I'll give you a moment to look at it. So the total complete answer for this problem with the plus and the -7 is going to be x equals -2 or 6 or 2 plus or minus the square root of 2. Yes. Okay. So those are all my problems that I'm going to solve today. Just a little review. When we're talking about the absolute value of a number, we're talking about a number's distance from 0. The absolute value of a number is going to depend on its sign. If a number is negative, or well, yeah, but if a number is positive, the absolute value will be equal to that number. If a number is negative, the absolute value is going to be its opposite. And when you're doing absolute value equations like I was doing today, and solving for a variable, you're going to need to solve for both a positive and a negative like we just did. I hope that this made sense, and I hope I didn't talk too fast, and I hope that this was helpful. Thank you for watching. Yeah, thank you.